defendant is here and has been here for a while. She's here in a timely manner. It's Brianne Lynn McRoberts. File number 533FY alleges no insurance and possession of it for metallic knuckles.
Here comes our next case, and trust me, it's packing more than just legal trouble. No insurance, brass knuckles. Oh, this one's about to get spicy.
Defendant pled to no insurance, forfeited the brass knuckles. The matter was set for sentencing today. That allegedly occurred on February 5th of 2023. I don't know, that warrant had been out for a while, I guess. In file number 251158, that occurred this year, June of 2025, while they were serving that earlier warrant, the defendant was charged with resisting and obstructing a police officer, pled to attempting to resist or obstruct a police officer, and no valid operator's license. So the defendant is scheduled for sentencing for 2 traffic violations and a felony attempted resisting obstructing a police officer reduced to a misdemeanor. Miss McNeese, I told you that I would get the police report, Miss McRoberts, and watch the video with the assistance of the prosecutor's staff. They're always very helpful. I got the video, and frankly, I don't know what to make of it. This whole thing went down in 12 seconds. You got pulled over. The officer got out of the car, and 12 seconds later, you were on the ground. From the body cam video, get another perspective of it.
12 seconds. That's less time than it takes to microwave popcorn. And this traffic stop went from 0 to ground level in record speed.
You weren't the most respectful. You started out with the MF, and once that happened, you were on the ground. But whatever you did was within seconds. Resisting and obstructing or assaulting includes all of those things. There's no evidence that you assaulted the police officer. I guess resisting and obstructing is not complying with their lawful commands, but I've certainly seen a lot worse than this. It was helpful to see the video. Anyway, having said all that, Mr. Knopfinger, what would you like me to know?
Yeah, I would like to. I know the court is aware that she was tased during this as well. So.
Yeah, I couldn't tell who tased her. All of a sudden, I didn't know if it was Officer Marsh, who was also there, did the tasing.
The
it all happened. So.
Who walked up to the car door is the one who tased me.
I think it was Hoggard.
Hoggard?
Yeah.
All right. It all happened so fast. It was, and I watched it several times, and I couldn't tell. At any rate, that didn't sound like any fun. Then you were a hornet. You were threatening to sue everybody and dropping the F-bombs, and but up to that point, you said you're not even going to ask my name or anything.
When a judge says wham bam, you know things escalated way too quickly. At this point, the courtroom tension is thicker than the police report.
And then wham bam, you're on the ground. So, Mr. Knopfinger, what would you like me to know?
Well, it happened very, very quickly. I know for some people too. I run into this sometimes too. People don't know what they can and can't do, and with the lawful order and the resisting, obstructing, statute is one of the most expansive criminal statutes that includes a wide range of conduct, as the court noted, assaulting, physically pushing or injuring an officer, all the way to disobeying a lawful command, which can include getting out of a motor vehicle. And I've encountered this recently. People don't think that they have to get out of a valid traffic stop, and that is the case. I can understand. I reviewed the body cam. I initially got the case, and yeah, there was a lot of anger. It happened very quickly. She was tased. She went to jail. I would ask the court to consider that. She has made some changes, Judge. I haven't spoken to her. I think she regrets the conduct and now understands the importance. And also, reading the police report, I don't know if she knew sort of what was going on before all of this went down, too.
Well, there was something that preceded it. There was some sort of an assault in progress, a dogwood at Klinger Lake, and someone alleged that she was the assaulter and had just left the area. So that's why they were pulling over in the first place.
Yeah, I think that added to sort of, from law enforcement's perspective, sort of the urgency.
Well, and she had an open warrant for carrying concealed weapon. So, but the weapon was a dumb.
This is why context matters. Officers hear weapons charge and think gun, not brass knuckles. And that mental image changes the whole approach.
A pair of brass knuckles, but you couldn't tell that from the lean dispatch that she's just had a CCW, meaning you think it's a gun.
Right.
So she's a suspect and assault if she has an open warrant for a weapon charge, and the officer was having that in his background at the time.
Yeah, I can understand that maybe there was not so much patience, to put it gently, Judge. So,
Yes.
she is set to move into a new apartment, and getting the kid ready for school. So I get the sense from her that this isn't going to happen again, Judge.
Yes.
So I would ask the court to consider all those in fashion. Thank you.
Hi, I just realized I don't have a driving record in the Brianne McRoberts case. And one of the charges is no operator's license. So could you get me one? All right, thank you. All right, bye. So the charge way back when was no insurance, the 2023 case, and possession of metallic knuckles. That was during Mr. Marvin's administration, and rather than do an arrest or issue a citation, the officers would submit a warrant request and they would get a warrant. So you got stopped on February 5th of 2023 for having no insurance. And they said you were in possession of a pair of brass knuckles. That's a felony. It's punishable by up to 5 years in prison. So they sent it to the prosecutor and they issued a warrant in April of 2023. My guess is you didn't even know there was an open warrant for your arrest from April of 23. Did you continue to live on Riverside Drive?
No, I was at the homeless shelter when that incident happened with brass knuckles.
All right. So anyway, there's a warrant out from 2023 that you don't even know about. Somebody calls about this disturbance out near Klinger Lake, and they realize there's an existing warrant for your arrest. So they dismissed the brass knuckles and you pled to not having insurance. That one carries a minimum fine of $200 up to $500 plus cost. So we'll address that one in a minute. In the other case, the one that's more of a concern, that's from June. The most concerning charge is the attempted resisting obstructing. Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Angelique Camfield is here on behalf of the prosecutor's office. Ms. Camfield, what would you like me to know?
Your Honor, I've had an opportunity to review the defendant's criminal history, which doesn't appear to have anything of significance up until these particular instances. I will note that the report indicates that the officer, in addition to being aware of an open felony weapons offense warrant, did also indicate that there was a passenger in the vehicle and there were furtive movements being made before the vehicle came to a stop. Now, in the training and experience of an officer on the scene, that could indicate a number of things. On the top of their minds is usually there's drugs and or weapons being hidden.
Taser might not feel least aggressive when it's happening, but in policing terms, that's considered mid-level force. Painful? Yes. Deadly? No.
While the stop is being made. So if she's refusing to get out of the vehicle, as she later did, and then starting to put her hand behind her back, as the report indicates, where he is unable to see it, that is what led, according to his police report, to the taser being deployed. He has somebody with an open weapons warrant in her hands where he can't see them, at least one of them, and another person in the vehicle, and he doesn't know what they may have hid prior to the stop. So I think that in that circumstance, being tasered is certainly not anything anyone would want to occur, but that was perhaps the least aggressive form of controlling the situation for the safety of everybody involved in this particular instance. I think that that needs to be taken into consideration with respect to the sentence. When somebody is being given a lawful command, a lot of these situations can be avoided if you just comply with the lawful command and not argue about whether you should or should not do it, or whether they can or cannot have you step out of the vehicle.
No.
If there's a concern about that, bring it up with their superior later, but maintain your safety and the safety of the situation by complying with the officer on the scene. That did not occur here. Now the question is, do we need a probation period in order to make sure that this doesn't occur again and to rehabilitate and deter others from this type of behavior? I'll leave that to the discretion of the court. It seems that a short period would be appropriate in the circumstances. And I will say, particularly given the fact that she just left the scene of a disturbance where there was an alleged assault as well.
Yeah, and I can't really do anything with that. There were no charges. It's all unconfirmed.
I will note that part of the plea agreement in getting this reduced to a misdemeanor was forfeiture of the brass knuckles.
Yes. All right. How'd you get here?
My dad.
All right, good. Your driving record isn't bad. Your driver's license is just expired. So you need to do what you need to do to get your license back. It doesn't appear to me that you're prohibited, but you just didn't have a license either on that day or now. Where's your dad?
In his truck.
He didn't want to come in and watch any of this? All right, what would you like to tell me?
I didn't know I was doing anything wrong. He came up to the car, reached his hand inside my car and told me to get out. I didn't know what was going on. He followed me for a minute before he pulled me over. And when I got there was more officers. I didn't know what was going on.
Well, there's Kleenexes right there.
It was the only day I didn't have a licensed driver with me.
Well, you started out right off the bat with the attitude. It's like, why are you following me? You've been following me for two and a half miles. Well, he was following you because and you didn't know this. There's an issue of what he knew and what you knew. He knew there was an open warrant for your arrest.
Two completely different sets of facts and zero chance for calm communication. This is where courtrooms have to untangle the chaos.
For a weapons charge, you didn't even know that warrant even existed. 2, he was reported your vehicle was involved in some sort of an assaultive disturbance a couple miles away, which he knew and you didn't know.